Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. It's the weekend football betting show where we can try to earn some money because obviously West Ham can't earn any points recently. So, other than one against Brighton last night, that I still haven't got over, if I'm being truthfully honest. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the weekend's football. And sadly, there isn't a lot out there. I've only come up with about three tips that I think are quite decent. Other than that, it's pretty poor weekend for football betting, I must admit. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And it is this Premier League win to nil bet. Liverpool 11-8 versus Wolves away, and Manchester City are away 5-6 versus Watford, just over 3-1, the double. Um, for me, that's a good punt. It is. I think really what you're doing is you're just backing Liverpool not to concede. I don't think Manchester City concede against Watford. I really don't. I think Manchester City have gone there a few times now and beat them pretty handedly, really. So I like that bet. It's just over 3-1, or it is near enough 4-1. I think it is 3.35-1. Yeah. So I think that's a good punt. I really do. If it's something to watch. Liverpool obviously conceded the other day, so really you've got to be wary of Liverpool in this to concede a goal. But against Wolves, Wolves haven't scored in two games now, two nil-nil draws. So I think it's good value to have that as a double for me. Moving on to this bet. Championship, Blackburn 5-4 versus Preston in a local derby, and they're 5-4 for two goals. Now I've been watching Blackburn quite a lot recently, and I must admit I'm thoroughly impressed with their striker. They've got a Chilean striker up front, Ben Brereton Diaz. That is the name. He's now a citizen of Chile. So yeah, fair play to him, and he's doing very well in the championship, I must admit. And I do like Blackburn in this bet, I really do. When I look at this bet with Blackburn, and I see 5-4 on both prices to win the game and to score two goals, I think they're both good punts myself. They really are. Obviously, I'm recording this Thursday, so the prices will change, and that won't be 5-4 for both for much longer. I don't believe. I think it gets backed in. I think they'll probably go off at about even money. Do you know what I mean? Maybe even 11-10. But I do fancy Blackburn in this at 5-4, and I do fancy two goals for Blackburn. And moving on finally to this. And the reason why there is not many games this weekend is because FA Cup duties and a lot of games have been rearranged due to that. So I've come up with a treble for the weekend that I think is pretty good value. And I think it's about 5.5-1. I think this is in certain places. Obviously, prices do depend on change of price, etc. So I look at this now and I'll start off with Cambridge against Exeter. Exeter obviously played in the week and they beat Brent. Who they beat? Bradford. They beat Bradford. And now they've got to go again and they've got to travel all the way to Cambridgeshire to play Cambridge. And Cambridge are playing pretty all right at the minute, mate. If I'm honest, they beat Wigan at home, and Wigan are flying at the minute. And I can see them doing a job on Exeter. I think Cambridge have had a rest. They haven't played in a week. And I think this is a perfect game for them. Moving on to Leyton Orient versus Tranmere. Both these teams are in poor form, but I just fancy Orient in this one, just to edge it. I think the home crowd will get into them, and I can see them turning up and putting in a performance, especially in the FA Cup. Leyton Orient's known for their FA Cup games, and I can see them getting through this one just. So this is like my outsider of the three, so to speak. And then finally, Ipswich at home against Barrow. Difference in class in this one for me, and that's why Ipswich are 4-9. They're 4-9 because they've got the better players, better squad, and they should have enough to beat Barrow at home. So 4-9 for me is a good bet on Ipswich. If you fancy two goals in this game for Ipswich, you'll be looking at the same price, and I think Ipswich can score two goals. So for me, that is the bet for me. That little treble there. I think it's 5.5 to 1, as I say, and I just think it's very, very good value. It really, really is. Let's have a look in the chat. Darren, hello, James. No Gillingham fixture the weekend, mate. No, sadly not. There ain't. As I say, there is lack of football content betting wise this week because the FA Cup. When the FA Cup comes round, it always causes delays. There's a couple of games that I fancy, but I've not put on here. But there's a couple of draws. I think Nottingham Forest versus Peterborough is a banker draw for me. I think also Millwall against Birmingham. It could be a possible draw and all. So if you like your draws betting, that's what I'll go with that. But there really isn't any good betting this weekend because the prices are pretty poor. Maybe if you look in the National League and look at Dagenham Redbridge versus Grimsby, Dagenham Redbridge are running out of bodies, and I know that for a fact because obviously I'm very close to the club. But Grimsby could go there and win it, and now 6-4 on the coupon at present. Yet again, prices will change when the teams come out and their team news from Friday's press conference comes out. So this is why I've done this today. I'm going to get on it early. Obviously, if everyone was watching my betting content on the Brighton West Ham preview, obviously I called the draw, and I don't like to admit when I'm right, but I was right. And yeah, there was a very good price at 12-5 for the draw there. West Ham just wasn't worth even money for me in that game. I've just looked at the prices for the weekend for the West Ham game, and West Ham are 4-1. I think the draw is 13-5, and Chelsea are 8-11. Now, I'll give you a quick sort of rundown of that game before I wrap it up. And for me, I do like the double chance. I think West Ham can get a draw against Chelsea, but they've got to play better than that. If West Ham turn up, I think West Ham will be about 15-8, maybe 13-8, 7-4, something along that lines for the draw, and win double chance. I think that's good value. I really do. Chelsea are starting to sort of not be as phenomenal as they once were, and we turn up, the home crowd, early start, early kickoff. I'm hoping that we can get the win or the draw. So I do like the double chance on that, and there is really not a lot else I like on that bet other than the double chance for me, if I'm being truthfully honest. So yeah, that is it on the West Ham front. But yeah, sadly, no football. That's all the football I've got for this week, I'm afraid, and I will be back again soon. I'll leave it on this with you tonight. I'm doing a show at 10 o'clock with Andy from West Ham Reunited. We're going to give our player ratings for last night's performance of the players in the 1-1 draw with Brighton. And then later on this evening, I'll be doing a fan cam with Katie Kate all the way from Philadelphia. So check that out also. But yeah, we will see what happens. If there is any more football betting content that I've missed, because obviously I'm doing this early, you will be the first to know. So anyway, that's enough from me. I'll take care, everyone. All the best and keep the faith.